it would not be one of our meetings if we did not have a Zoom issue. Like we would wonder, who are these infiltrators in the meeting? Because we never, ever.
But you know what? When we're ready to go, we're gonna be set. We're gonna be set. Are you
Beyond that.
recording this?
I'm recording now just because, like, and I didn't even ask you, but you camera ready, boy. You stay camera ready. So
That's
it's
all
okay.
right. Yeah. And I promise you, next time I'm gonna have some art hanging up.
I'm gonna need you. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. Right now,
All around the house, leaning up against the walls. I'm gonna hang it up.
I love it though, because you know what, I had in my old apartment, I finally put stuff up, and then I moved. Like I finally got around to
Girl, I know
making my
it's
space.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy how we do that. Okay. All
Let
right.
me see. Several things. One, we have a last minute trip, or not even last minute. My aunt talked to me about it, but she didn't confirm. And it's
Uh-huh.
sad to say, but I have been disappointed by my family so many times that I don't like
Oh,
until I see it. I don't. And
right.
this aunt, and I forget that this aunt is the aunt. She's like,
Okay.
even if it's like at midnight, she's like, well, I said I was gonna call you. It's 11:59. It's the same. You know what I mean? She will
Right,
always still.
right.
So she'd gotten the ticket. She was preparing for us to come, and these were the dates that we talked about, but we never confirmed. So
Okay.
now, it was supposed to be Friday, this
Mm.
Friday, but now she's changed it, and I'm gonna be going to Atlanta on Sunday.
Oh, wow,
Thank
cool.
Yes, yes. I'm glad it worked out for this evening for us to do something, and
That's
um,
exciting. Okay.
it is. But to catch up, and now that we're recording,
Yes.
just basically how we're getting started, and what we got going on and what we talked about, and
Okay.
I know you know that I don't think of this as just like hair journey. Like I think of it as journey. Like this is a part of healing
Yes.
it all
Yeah,
and
we're
caring
tripping.
about it all. Hmm? What you say?
I
What
said
you
we're
what?
tripping. We're tripping.
Yes, we tripping together, and we used to
Yeah,
trip in the
yes.
club. Now we tripping on something real, like on well, that was real too, but you know what I mean. You know
Yeah.
what I mean. Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
So
first off, those curls are looking juicy. They look moisturized and soft, and I mean, they are like, hey, those
okay,
them
I got
curls
my
are
product.
red.
I got my product so you can see what I did this go around because I did henna
Okay.
last night. I did henna. I should say I finished at 6 this morning, Tony.
Okay, how long is that henna process?
I missed times. I played games. I played all kinds of whole games. Like I could have had it much. Like I
Girl, we
didn't.
all play games.
I played all the games. I could have had it going from the day. So as soon as I put Aiden to bed, I could have
Okay.
gone right into it, and that was not how it went down at all. And then by the
Okay.
time I really got, put it on and was processing, I was so tired, like so
Mhm.
tired to the fact of like I wore gloves for every portion, gloves for the mixing, gloves for the
Right.
application. Then I went in and rinsed it out with no gloves. So look, can you see?
Mm.
Foolish and tired. Foolish and
Okay, well,
tired.
you know what? Look, we're on the same page. I'm looking like a vampire because normally I always wear gloves in a salon when doing color, and for whatever reason, yesterday I did not. So look at these black fingernails.
Oh, oh hush. They
Yeah,
are. They great. Nosferatu.
yeah.
What? I'm sorry.
That is just that is just
Man, the henna, it took too long. Once I got tired and like, everything
Mm-hmm.
takes longer and I was like messing stuff up and spilt like the extra cleaning. So that's why it really took so long. And I did not get started, Tony. I didn't put that henna on my head until I want to say 11, like
Mm.
10:30. And it takes 2 hours. Like if I had a
Yeah,
heating cap, it would take less time, but it takes 2 hours without.
that's a
Um,
process.
it is a process.
That is a
And
process.
I will tell you, um, look, I like I wanted to try, I don't know, can you really see if let me see, can I get in there?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I wanted to try indigo with it this time to get something richer. And that's what
yes.
also made it take longer because when I
And you
went
know
to
what?
go mix it.
That is exactly the word. That is exactly what I was thinking when I said juicy. Yeah, your hair looks very rich, very
And
rich.
so I just did that. So I just did it last night because I wanted to, you know, each time we kind of started a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I think the first time we met, I was looking rough, but I think since
No,
the couple of times then, no, I think each time I might have washed for
no.
you just so you could see. I love was
Hmm.
convincing. See, Tony, that was
Huh?
good. You said, no, you weren't looking rough, girl. Just
No.
the way you said it was good.
I think just one time he had a bonnet on, and I was like, "What's
Like,
that?"
okay, Bonnet, come through, Bonnet. Yeah. And then it was done underneath. And then it was done
Take-
underneath.
yeah, no, you never look rough.
Oh man, I love you. I
I
thought of
love
you
you
when
too,
I
girl.
was
I'll
doing.
tell you what. That henna, we're gonna move you into a natural, easier, smoother process that will give you the same effect that does not take as much time. So
Okay.
something ammonia free that will richen those curls,
Mhm.
um, and give you what you want, that richness
Yes. Okay. Do
without
that.
taking
Taking it all
all
away.
that time.
I tried a detox shampoo that
Okay,
I was gonna
okay.
do a scalp scrub, but I thought of you. I was like, child, just use those fingers. Get those fingers going. And
Yeah, bend them fingers and work it out. That's all you gotta do.
yeah, so I
How
did
did you how
that
did you
first.
how did you feel?
It felt good. I have a scalp massager too, so I got, got
Okay.
that in there a little bit and did the thing. And it felt good. When I
Okay.
put the henna on, I really felt like, oh, I took care of my scalp. You know what I mean? Just the
Okay.
way it felt.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I did that, and then I rinsed, and I used conditioner to like kind of work it through in the like I
Uh-huh.
used the tea tree Trader Joe's conditioner, almost like I
Okay.
don't co-wash, but almost like how people would co-wash because I shampooed before I did the henna. So this was
Okay.
mostly to help me like detangle because that the grit, the texture of the hair with the henna,
Mm-hmm.
you know how it feels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I did that, and then I did my real conditioner, which was this one. I did this
Okay.
one. That strengthen and restore, shea
Okay.
moisture,
Okay.
and then I did the aloe spritz that I do, the aloe, glycerin, water, peppermint oil, distilled
Yes.
water, peppermint oil. I
Mm-hmm.
put that on. I spritz that first,
Mm-hmm.
after I rinse, and
Your
did this
Cadogan
weekend.
cocktail.
I did a cocktail.
A
I did two
Cadogan
cocktails.
cocktail.
A little cocktail. I did a
Okay, that's
cocktail.
cool.
Yeah, I'm not drinking anymore, so I got to get my cocktails in some kind of.
I know that's right.
And it's not even by like, oh, I'm not drinking anymore, but it's like I ain't going nowhere. I ain't doing that. And I
Mm.
get so tired the next day. It's like not worth it. Like
It
if I'm
wears you
gonna be
out.
hungover,
I'll
and
have a glass of wine and I'm like, let me lay down. Let me lay
I'm gonna
down.
lay down, yes. And
Yeah,
then
there's nowhere
with
to
that
go,
one,
so it's
I don't.
pointless.
It's pointless. Yeah.
I could
So
sit at
and
home and then become an alcoholic, but where's the fun in that?
I guess once you get to the AA meetings and you meet the people with their stories, that's what you gotta wait to. That'll be the next fun you have. So I don't know what to say. Now cocktail time. That was the still the same
Okay,
cream that I told, and I admitted to you last time. I don't even like this, but I spent my money. I'm gonna finish this bottle. So
girl. Okay, I feel you on that. I feel you. I love that we have all of these things here, so that we can see what you've done, what you've been doing since our last
mhm,
chat.
and just
And
what it looks
then it'll
like.
be cool once you come back from Atlanta. You'll have a whole batch of brand new stuff to start with that you get to play with.
Okay, I can't wait, and
And
that's exactly
then
what I'll do. Because
we,
obviously, this is gonna be my Atlanta hair. Like I done washed it. Well, I'm lying because I don't think I think I gotta rinse again. I gotta make sure all the henna is out. I think it might be in there still processing a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that henna's always in there.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't think it
because it
leaves.
deposits. It deposits. That's what it does, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what makes you gives the illusion of more thickness and all that. Blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah. So yeah, I'm gonna cocktail it up. Before I
Mm-hmm.
leave, I'll probably wash on Saturday, and then I'm gone
Okay.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yep, I'm back Thursday. So then
Okay.
on the weekends, I'll if
Oh
everybody
yes,
there.
on the weekend you break it down to the bone. and then
Okay.
build it back up.
Back it back.
So,
Okay.
and then if you one thing I will tell you is depending upon what the weather is like in Atlanta, your hair might do good down there. You know,
My hair
because
loves
it's warm,
Florida. It loves
the
the
chances
humidity.
are it's going to be humid, so there'll be some humidity in the air, some moisture. Um,
I'm gonna pay attention to how it feels so I can
yeah.
tell you what went down. Um, and I'll save my opening of the box until maybe we're together. That'll we have an unboxing if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's totally cool.
Yeah.
Yes. I will tell you something really interesting though. I told you I was in the desert 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you did
Down
actually.
the street, yeah. I looked in the mirror and I thought, wow, my hair is turning really white, along here. And it
You have
was
a lot of
dry.
heat growth.
It was
Oh,
dry. Dry scalp.
really?
I opened it up and I was like, stop
Wow.
playing. Flakes
Yes,
just
that's
falling
right.
out. I never had that going on down here in Los Angeles. But just going from
Into the
um, here out to the desert where it was drier and it just happened to be warm during that week, I saw an instant change in my scalp and my skin.
I see what you're
Everything.
saying in terms of like check out how my hair feels in Atlanta because maybe some of the things that I'm feeling or if I've experienced might be because I've been in the desert for.
Yeah, that I instantly felt it. I was like, damn, what's going on with my skin, And, I couldn't stay moist enough. Where down here, my skin is acclimated to what's happening. But, as soon as I got to the desert, I was
Really
like,
have a
what's happening?
yeah. Well, that's you know what, I really hadn't thought about that, so thank you. And I'll pay attention both to my
Mm,
skin and to because sometimes you just chalk things up to aging or a product change. And I had
mm,
aided things. When I moved, I had aided so hormonal
mm,
things, and so there's a lot that I've chalked up all these changes to, but
mm-hmm.
the climate is not one. I hadn't really thought about what it means to like live in the desert.
Absolutely. It's dry and it's hot.
Quietest is kept, I don't know, but I'm looking at Atlanta as a possible like let's make this move, let's make this happen. I don't
I'm
know.
not mad at that.
It's very very tentative. So I'm glad we've already started off in a Zoom world, like a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad that what we're doing is already, not that I
Absolutely.
don't have to come out because I want to come in. I want to get when it's time for the cut. I want to,
Hmm.
be in person finally. FaceTime,
Yes.
give you a hug. But the fact that we
Absolutely.
okay, I'm gonna pay attention. Um, Atlanta, the humidity. I'm gonna pay
Yes.
attention just here because the days do change. It does change. Some it goes, and that's the thing. It goes from hot to cold to but I guess it never stops being the desert. It never stops being dry per se.
Yes.
But it
Even
has been
in,
raining.
yeah, it'll rain, but have you noticed that it rains, and sometimes the rain will cool it down, even if it's warm. But then you guys get cool at night too, don't you?
And it doesn't.
But the air
Remember, you
still,
saying that it doesn't stay the humidity like it does, say, in
right, the
Florida
moisture just
or
doesn't hang around. It's
yes,
crisp.
it doesn't hang around. That's the
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
Very
like a crispness to the air.
very true. Okay, so all of that, like the things that you do not pay attention to, but
Hmm.
they affect.
They really
This
do.
is the metaphor. This is the metaphor for the all of it.
Yeah.
Like for real though, like it's true.
Yes. My goodness. Okay. So what else is that olive oil I see in the back there?
Oh yeah, so that's the last, because I like to cook my hair outside. I know every time
Okay,
I
okay.
think of you, I know, Tony, I know. But did I
Throw it
do it
on the
at the end?
grill.
I didn't go outside though. I stayed in the house. Aiden didn't want to go outside. I was like, I gotta stay under the awning. I can't cook, honey. I can't
Yes.
cook. So it's like I'd infuse some rosemary and sage in olive oil, like two different ones. So it's that and
Mhm.
a little avocado oil, jojoba oil, and sweet almond oil. That's what
Okay.
this blend is. And then because I was in a cocktail mode, and
Mm-hmm.
I have this squalane oil, and I
Mm-hmm.
just decided to. I don't know why, but I don't like it for my skin. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it in my look. I don't know why, Tony. I just
How did
decided to
it? Well,
get
you know what? Sometimes we just do. That's
hmm
it's just what it is.
It just is what it is.
So
Again,
let
I'm
me
still
ask you this: did you try that with your cocktail, or did you just put it in your hair by itself? How
oh,
did
so I
you?
layer. So I lay. So I did. I did say cocktail because I just love the idea of thinking I was cocktailing up the hair. But what I did the leave-in first,
Mm-hmm.
and then because um when I do my conditioning, that's when I
Yes.
comb it per se. Like that's when I
Okay.
define it and do all the little, get the curls, where they
Mm-hmm.
need to be. That's that step. And when I rinse, I don't rinse, I don't rake through. I just kind of let it stay how it lay.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I come out, like I'll do like a little paper towel or a t-shirt, something to get some of the, moisture out.
Mm-hmm.
Then I do this. And this is pretty much not right at the root, but pretty much from the root to the end. And
Uh-huh.
then this, I don't do at the root. I just do like like from the shaft, do
Okay.
that. And then the oil too, not at the root, like the lower half of the shaft. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the
Where the
oil.
hair tends to be a little bit drier. Okay.
And
So it
I
doesn't.
don't usually do that spritz. I don't usually do that aloe spritz on my first day, but I did it first because again the aloe, it just felt like the henna, it felt like it
Hannah.
needed
Okay.
something a little more to get
Okay.
the moisture.
So do you ever mix your oil with your leave-in?
If it's a good idea, I would be down, but I don't usually do it that way.
Okay, the only reason I am asking that question is because your leave-in conditioner is designed to go in and to open up, that cuticle so that it can deposit all of the conditioner. And those oils, a lot of times, in their natural state as they are very thick and very heavy and a lot of times may not penetrate. So if you mix a little bit of that with your leave-in,
Okay,
then you may get better results.
I'm
You
down.
may get the benefits of the oil,
More
because you
so.
have that vehicle that's going to, open up that cuticle and enable that hair to absorb the oil that you're putting in there and not
Okay.
just sitting on top of the hair.
Okay. Okay. I'm down for that. Aiden's hair, as a matter of fact, we're
Yes.
washing, and I'm gonna try that with him, the leave-in,
Okay.
and the oil in there. And then,
Yes.
would you say once doing it that way, um, I could skip a butter or still put a butter on top or a cream on top? Like he has a different version of this. He has it's not the curling style milk, but it's the curling style cream or curling style
Okay.
with something like that. Could I still put that on top for him if I do the leave-in with the oil mixture tomorrow and then just finish up with that?
I think if it needs it, if it feels like it needs it, then absolutely.
Okay,
But if it feels moisturized enough to you, then you don't have to.
got there.
And then you
Okay,
can probably do that the following day.
okay, because because we'll wash and then the following day I'm gonna twist him. So then that
Um,
makes probably the most sense then to do that. Just
mhm.
when I do the twist.
When you do the twist, that way it's nice and moisturized
Yeah.
when you twist it.
Okay.
Because also what that oil is going to do is break down that leave-in because it's a cream, right?
It
It's
is. It's very. Ooh, yeah. It's very creamy.
yeah. So it's going to break that down and just emulsify it really good in your hands, just warm it up and then still do the same technique that you normally would and see how that works. And just start with a little bit of oil.
Okay.
You know,
I
no,
definitely.
don't do
I
too
won't
much, yeah,
over.
because
Yeah.
you can always build. on top of that. But you go in heavy the first time and you're like, dang man, I gotta start
True.
all over.
Hmm.
Or try to sop it out like a
Save it.
biscuit.
Right. No, leave the sopping for the biscuits, right? Because that's just where it belongs. I feel you. Honey. So this is the plan. That's
Yes.
that's the goal. And
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited for many reasons. One, because I'm excited to see and to get your honest and true reaction on the things that I send you. And now that I know what it is that you're using, it's also going to be good to get your feedback on how that worked with the cocktail with the oil and your leave-in,
Okay,
for
definitely.
now.
And it will
Um,
be so close. It'll be, I don't usually wash my hair so close together, but just because I want to make sure, that first run of the
yes.
henna can come out, I'm going to, and I'm going somewhere. I want, to only have to do it and then not have to do
Again.
it till I come back.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be close enough that I feel like the hair is in a good state. It's not like
Yes.
coming from, you know,
Yeah. No, your hair
under
looks
like.
good. It looks good. It really does. And I'm telling you, it looks moisturized and it looks very healthy.
I just took my duck clips out right before we got on. I was like, oh, you still got them in there. And normally I would do like a little bun, after to
Hmm.
loosen it a little bit. And I didn't do that. So even with that not done, it's still,
Yeah, it's doing its thing. Yeah, she's living like Meghan Markle.
like, look, they don't want you
Okay,
to,
she is
but
living.
live it.
Next year we gonna see her all.
We're going to see it all. Yeah, she'll be looking like Foxy Brown. Yes. Can you imagine? I'm going for that. I'm
That's
going
why
for
she was like, let's get back to Los Angeles. Let's get the hell out of here. Oh
that.
my
Big
goodness.
time.
So,
Yeah.
um, we've covered our hair bit so far. Um,
I guess the first video, and it will be the video where it all went wrong, where that did all go wrong, but it just started. It's my first hair cutting when I cut my hair from not
okay.
last year. It was, I think, 2000, not 20, but 19. That was the
Okay.
one at like it was right before New Year's. We were going out, and I hadn't made an appointment. I was like, just forget it. And that's where I just started.
Hmm.
And um, I will definitely put together, because I want the first next video that we watch together. It's just a reaction video to
Okay. Cool.
the past,
Okay.
and I have to edit that and get that together.
Okay.
So and you know what? Honestly, that doesn't necessarily have to be the next thing, because the
Okay.
unboxing could be the next thing. Should be the next thing.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
So,
We'll do some of our Zooms while I'm in the salon.
ooh, that would be
While I'm in the
wonderful.
salon,
That would be wonderful.
because I think I told you that I'm buying it.
You talked about it, but you dropped it, and then the way you dropped it, I was like, did I know this? Like, it was like, so I was just like, oh yeah, he is. But you never like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's gonna be yours.
I'll be the new
Oh,
owner. Yeah, I am. I am actually the new owner. So soon, what's going to happen is I've already started stripping things away, and so Alex is still there,
okay.
but he's having, it's like
And what's the current name? And are you keeping the name? Are you changing the name? What
the
will the
current
name be?
name is Studio 73 Salon.
Okay, okay. And are you keeping the name for continuity? Or are you
No, the new name will be Don't Make Me Cut You.
it is going to be, I
Don't
love
Make
it.
Me Cut
I
You.
love it. I think we should do an episode where we settle on common language. We go over some terms, we develop some,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely. That's important.
yeah,
That's really
and
important.
then we have the other episode, which is basically from whence I came, like, just the journey, like how we got,
Not from whence I came.
honey,
That's high context speech.
honey. I'm
From
I'm
whence
saying,
I came. I love
I'm
it.
just, I'm just saying, because you said we tripping, right?
I
So,
understand. I understand. I've been there too. I know. I dig. I
yeah,
dig. I had
yeah,
to
and
get
then
it.
that
I
will
was
get
like,
you.
let me go see a barber instead of snip, 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 snip.
And
You
you
know.
sure you did? Who did you go to, by the way? Remember we talked barbers. We gonna have to
Uh,
get somebody for A.
that's interesting. My pastor asked me this yesterday when she was getting a haircut. She was like, "So your haircut is tight." And I said, "The white girl behind me did it." She said, "What?"
Okay,
I
see,
said, "Yeah." I said, "She's a barber." I said, "She's been working
you're
here for a
meeting
while.
her.
I see her work." And so it was a few months ago that I asked her just to clean out my neck. And
Start to speak.
right, and she was very, she was very gingerly. It just very. She handled me so tenderly, and I was like, wow, you've got a really nice touch. And she was like, yeah. She goes, there's no reason for me to be rigorous. And then she asked the question. She says, anytime you want a haircut, I would love
Mm.
to. And then she tap danced around, and I was like, what? And she was like, I would love to, to cut your hair because none of my black friends will let me do it. And I was like, yeah. I said, yeah, I'll let you.
Okay,
And so she has
okay,
given me my last two haircuts.
love it,
And
love it.
I only just snipping away at my own, trying to keep it tight. And I said, let me check out Elle and see what she can do.
Yeah,
So she
yeah,
hooked me up. She did a nice job.
yeah. She did. It looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
So I told her, I said, she goes, well, do you want some of my cards? And I was like, no, 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 no. I said, I'll just tell people. I was like, oh, this white girl in my salon did it.
Yeah.
And then she was like, don't tell people that.
But no, see,
I said,
okay,
look, I said, if
I'm gonna
I'm
tell you.
tight, people are going to come in here and they're going to want their haircut.
And they know
So,
that's your craft. It's not even just like, oh, a black man, you trusted her with your hair. Like you are in the
right.
profession. This is your bread and
Absolutely.
butter. You can't show up looking cray and then try to take
Crazy.
care of somebody. So,
There you go.
the fact that
Yeah.
you trusted her and she did a good job is like
She did. She took her
then
time.
extra.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I even gave her a pick.
I,
I
I
had to teach
I
her how
love
to
it.
pick. I was like, look, you can't just be. I said, girl, you got to pick that hair out.
Yes,
She was
yes,
like,
yes.
okay, like this. So
Hmm. That is
I was
what's
like,
up.
absolutely.
Okay. And
So,
is she staying on? Is she staying on at the salon? Are all of the stylists that are there, are they staying on, or do you want do you want some fresh blood? Do you want some, you got some people that
I'm
stays
trying to
there,
bring in
some
some new
people come and
talent
stay.
for sure, for sure. I'm trying to bring in some new talent. So as we renovate and really elevate the place, I want to bring in some strong stylists that are hip, no BS, come in, get down, handle it, and get on out.
Yeah.
She is definitely one of those people. I would love for her to stay. So I think that's part of the reason why I was like, okay, let's see what you can do, and I
Right.
see how she is with her clients. And
In Studio 73, do they know yet that you are the
they
new
all
owner?
know. So I
Okay.
told Alex not to tell anybody, and he was like, okay, well, I won't. But he can't hold water, so everybody knows. But nobody is saying anything about it. It's just
Gotcha.
quiet. But they see the changes that I'm making slowly, and they are slowly acclimating to
Cool.
how I function. So, getting the balance right. And that's all. I'm not trying to control anybody. I'm like, look, pay your money, do your thing, keep it moving,
Hmm.
but keep it professional,
Right. And
So,
ultimately, hopefully, they'll see that level of professionalism that you are wanting to instill, that you are instilling, will help them in the end in their pockets because
yes,
they will be able to command a higher price, and they will have clientele who, again, is with the program. Like you said, they're not waiting. They are booked and ready to go because
absolutely.
people know that's how it
Absolutely.
runs when they come there and they don't think, oh,
Hmm.
they never on time anyway. I need to go.
Right, last minute, hurry, 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 and all that. And so, no, 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 no. So they see how I function, and they also see how Alex functions. When we function, Alex is there, he's on time, he's waiting for his clients, he confirms his clients the night before, just as I do, and we have that down pat.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
gonna rock the boat a little bit. It's gonna shake some things up. And especially when I bring Billy in. Billy is a long time friend of mine. This brother is so talented. He's just he's a total artist.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And the cool thing about Billy, he can do everything, but most of his clientele are white women.
Oh, okay.
So to have a really cool brother, I mean, and Billy is as black as they come, baby. I mean, inside and out, and that's his clientele. That's going to draw more people into the salon and keep it multicultural, even though it's black owned and operated.
And that's
So,
one of the things. Have you heard of the 15% pledge for? Um, can I think of the sister who started that initiative, but to get retailers on board to pledge 15% of their shelf space to Black-owned products. And
mm,
I noticed Target is not on the list, but they carry so many products. And I don't know if they want, because they're in areas where they feel like it won't have as much market, that they don't want to put their mouth on something that they're not going to follow. So I don't know why they haven't just signed that pledge. So are not just because they're Black owned, they are not only for Black people. In the same way, we have had
right.
to use products that were not made by us or necessarily for us, and we figure out what works. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it works in the opposite direction, and it will
Absolutely.
probably just as universally, at least I'm thinking in the beauty sector, you should not have a problem with home goods and all that. Like, that should not even matter. That should
Right.
just be like what
Right.
looks good.
You know,
But
you'd
in
be
beauty,
surprised. Design Essentials really nailed it a few years ago. They had this symposium they went to with a lot of professionals, and everybody brought their product lines and they were learning new things, and it was international.
hmm
And so when we went as educators to Atlanta for the symposium, they had these hotshot hairstylists from London that were going to show us how to do some haircuts. The thing that I thought was most interesting about how that connection was made was Design Essentials had a lot of excess product. And so what they did was they reached out to the hotel manager and had room service leave them in all of the rooms of the people that were there for this beauty expo.
yes,
And these people were like, damn, this product is really good. Who are these people? And so it was white people using the product that was like, wow, this shampoo, this conditioner is dynamite. So that's how that connection was made. And that's how those people came to, teach us,
yeah.
these really cool haircuts.
And one thing
Another
is
thing that I
that
thought was really interesting too is, you know, you would think that the beauty industry would be more integrated, but it really is very segregated,
segregated.
because when it came time for them to teach us this fancy haircut, it took an additional hour because all of the mannequin heads that Design Essentials had for us, their hair looked like yours. The stylist did not know how to work with it,
Mm.
so we had to switch out the mannequins for white mannequins so they could show us the haircut. They didn't know how to blow dry it, how to get it smooth, and how to do all that stuff.
And
So,
in terms of the product, I don't know why I feel like it translates, but I feel like once you work with textured hair, the other stuff is easy. Like, it's like not, like
yeah,
maybe that's not the wrong thinking on my end, but I feel like you have
it's
such a
absolutely
great.
correct. No, you're 100% correct. And we as black stylists typically have the upper hand because we can do it all.
Yes.
I can cut straight hair. I can perm straight hair. I can color, white people. I can do all of that.
hmm
But
And then also
all
still
white
make
people don't know what to do with our hair. They see the curls and they're like,
they get
you
freaked
know.
out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I lived in South End, Indiana for a period, and I
Mm.
remember walking into salons where they actually look frightened. Like, oh
Yeah, I used to see it in beauty school all the time. Those white girls would be standing at the front, and as soon as the sister came in, they would run to the back. They were like, not me. And that's why Paul Mitchell in Sherman Oaks was the jumping off point for me.
mm,
I was like,
yeah,
ah,
yeah, I know how to do it. I know how to do it all. Um,
absolutely.
I brought this out just to tell you when I last trimmed my hair, and then see maybe can we schedule um when I might come in and actually do a cut, or however you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know why I can't
Absolutely.
find where I wrote that down. Oh, 12/30, December 30th, 2020. That's when.
Okay. That's 3 months. 4 months.
But see, for
Okay.
some reason, I feel like I told on myself, and I feel like I did a 6 week trim. I feel I because I think when I talked to you, like, who's telling you you got to cut your hair this much? I remember us having that conversation. So I do feel like I snuck another, and I call it a dusting. It was a little bit
Dusting,
more
yes. You know that is universal language. Just dust
universal.
those ends, honey. Just dust
So
them.
so I'm calling it a cut, but if I did sneak one in, it was a
Hmm.
dusting.
A
It was a
dusting, absolutely. So yes, I've had to deal with some clients with that too. So she's a traveling nurse, and
okay.
she was going to someone in Oakland who was relaxing and then hot combing it. And I was
Oh,
perplexed by that when she came to me. I said, "Well, why are they doing both processes? What's the deal?" And she was like, "I don't know. I thought that's just what they did out here in California." I was like, "No, girl, no." I said, "You need to stop that." So from that point forth, she became a client of mine, and she would
hmm,
come down from Oakland to get her hair done, and she's been coming to me ever since. And since then, she's moved to Los Angeles, and
okay.
her hair now is, I want to say, down here, and it's been short.
Okay.
Um, and we relaxed it for years. And she has now been completely relaxer free for, I want to say, at least 1.5 to 2 full years.
Is she gonna be one of the blow you away?
Yes.
Okay.
When we wash it, the hair is nice and curly and just bouncy,
It
and
reverts back and
we
bounce
smooth it out and it just lays right on down. So that hair is trained.
train.
When you put some water on it, it just curls right on up.
So how about this? If I'm not quite ready for a cut per
Mm-hmm.
se,
Mm-hmm.
what about a blowout? What about we try and see, or is it? Do we want to do a couple of more? Like, you want to play that by
Yeah.
ear?
I need to get my fingers in your hair and see.
Because I
Um,
know Zoom can hide some things. Like I know you can't. you you know the juices is popping through the camera, but you get your hands in it. You're like, okay, that cuticle don't look like that.
no, I'm sure. See, I have never seen your hair look bad. I have never, ever,
Okay,
ever, 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 ever.
let me
And I'm
get this
telling you,
video together
we
so I
are
can tell
our
you.
own worst critics. We always think it's a
Yes,
lot worse
that's
than
true.
what it actually is. And I tell my clients that all the time. I'm like, look, it's not that bad. And they're like, well, yes, it is. And I'm like, no. And there's only been maybe 1 or 2 times where I was like, oh, yeah, it really is bad.
Hmm.
But it really,
But
it,
especially when you're going in and you clipping and doing the ends, like you never know where it might be some spot. It's just interesting. Like some spots, I'm like, well, are those leftover layers or is that crazy breakage? Like I don't know what's happening. You know what I mean? There's just certain, and so that's one of those things where it's like, of course, I like length. I don't usually wear my hair much shorter, but I want it
Mhm.
to be the healthiest. And I want someone that
Yes.
I trust that if you say,
Hmm.
okay, girl, it does look good, but it'll like, let's let some, what did I say? You blocking your blessings? Like, yeah, if you got two,
Yes.
you can't, you want this to be blessed and you can't because all that
Yes.
dead weight on the, don't block them blessings. So
Right. Don't
I
block
will
the
trust
blessings.
you if you
Yes.
set, so that's why I want,
You know what?
so.
Your hair is already, it's going to flourish. It already is. It already is. And I'll tell you, really, what 90% of the people I know, what they need is moisture.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's it. It's moisture.
And I know for myself, being here, I don't care who sees me in the high desert. Like that's the first issue. Like I'm living in a place where I could give a damn what y'all think. Like so, it's not like I'm going. out like how you would it. Oh, I might see somebody, or you know what I mean? And it should be for you. Obviously, it should be for you, but it's very easy to let it go when you don't feel like you have the time, you don't have the energy. And I know we talked a little bit about postpartum, and then just maybe we did and maybe we didn't. Maybe that'll be part of when we do the video.
That'll be a huge
When I make that
conversation.
video,
Yeah.
that's what I will talk about. What I was going through during that time.
Okay.
So that will be. It's not like I just will expect you to react to my tomfoolery. I will actually that's what I will talk about.
I
Talk about
understand. It's cool. But I will tell you this. Look, about the desert. The whole week I was there, I didn't do anything to my hair either. We were rolling out and going to Home Depot and going to all these places. And it wasn't until that morning when I was like, oh, wow, my hair is turning white. And I was all excited about it. I'm thinking it was turning actually white. And then I said, wait a minute. And I saw these flakes and I was like, oh, man. So then I had to moisturize it. I had the
so me
moisturizer
too.
with me. I just wasn't using it.
Just
I was
wasn't.
just hanging out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that I mean, 3 solid years, or I mean, I've been here for 5, but I would say like because there's a picture and I have to find. I was at Evan's. It was his mother's. It was Evan's birthday. His mom was in town,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kissing his. We know we're kissing his mom, and the way I'm turned, and you can see my hair, like the way it's laid out along my, and the curls still. The curls weren't really popping or anything, but it was still very thick, and it was really long, and I still,
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't fallen yet from Aiden. Um, and it was just like when I saw the date of that, and then started looking at other pictures, I was like, how did that progression just happen? And I never know, because I could feel the weight then. I could feel my hair. I could feel the weight. It felt like so much hair, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how I didn't realize like just how, and so much was coming out, and I was like, well,
Mm-hmm.
it's postpartum shedding, and it's this and it's
Mm-hmm.
that, and
Mm-hmm.
I had all these reasons, but really I just wasn't paying enough attention to myself. That's just the bottom line. So yeah, that I'll talk more about that on that
Okay.
during that one. So I am looking forward to next Sunday, and I'll confirm that with you, and
Yes.
you'll let me know. You'll let me know if you're ready for filming, because we're gonna do the film. We're gonna do, and not that
Okay.
this is great, but I want you to also, like I
Oh,
said,
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
I love
I'll
it.
be ready.